What's up? What's up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of Too Busy, Too Busy, Too Busy Tuesday. Hey, too busy, too busy, too busy Tuesday. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Tuesday. I am so excited to be here another week with y'all. And I was kind of debating what I was going to talk about tonight. And I decided I was going to do part two of a previous episode because I said that I was going to check back in, and just weeks have gone along and I've not had an opportunity to check in. So before we do that, for those of you that are new here, welcome. Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening. My name is Raffinée, and Too Busy is my weekly series where I get to share a little bit about something that I don't have time or energy for anymore. So too busy is the phrase that I say when I'm like, you know what? I don't have time for this. I don't have energy for this. Now, some of these things that I'm talking about week to week are things that are still in progress for me. So they are not hard and fast. I'm still kind of practicing some of these things and implementing boundaries uh, to align with the fact that I'm too busy for some of these things. Now, other things that I talk about some weeks are like, absolutely, this is hard and fast. This is ingrained. This is not still a work in progress. And so the beautiful thing about all of this with Too Busy is that just because I'm too busy for it does not mean that you also have to be too busy for it. So you get to pick and choose. And that's what I love about this. I'm just using my platform to share some of the things that I've learned and some of the things that I've decided that I no longer have time or energy for. And even I've had guests along the way that have shared some things that they no longer have time or energy for. But you get to decide. And I really do mean that. So as you're listening to me share, as you're listening to previous episodes and future episodes with guests, you can decide, you know what? Am I too busy for this? Do I have time or energy for this? Am I available for this? And sometimes the answer to that might be yes. Sometimes the answer to that might be I have been and I no longer want to be. And so give yourself the freedom and wiggle room to pick and choose and decide for yourself. Okay. So this week, what I'm going back to and kind of doing a part two to is when it comes to ingratitude, to that I say too busy. So y'all, I talked the last time just about keeping a gratitude journal. And so what I encouraged was every day jotting down something that you're grateful for and why. So it could be big or small. So sometimes for me, gratitude has been, I don't have any snacks here, but sometimes gratitude for me has been, you know what? I'm grateful for this snack because I had back to back clients today and it gave me an opportunity to get a little boost in the midst of my day. Sometimes gratitude might be I'm grateful for having a roof over my head because it's triple digits in Texas. And I'm so grateful that I do not have to be outside most of the time. Like typically I'm in the house. And if I'm not in the house, I'm probably in my car or walking to a building, but I'm not just like outside for sustained periods of time. Now, I had encouraged you all to keep a gratitude log or journal and then go back and do some reflection. So I would love to hear from some of y'all in the comments. And you can message me if you want to privately, even if you don't want to drop it in the comments about how has it been for you to keep a gratitude log? And then also, how has it been for you to reflect over the things that you're grateful for? And I'm going to share a little bit about what I notice as I go back and reflect on my own gratitude. So I will say this too. I am not diligent about writing in my gratitude log every single day. So please do not walk away from here with the impression that I am perfect and that I do this every single day. I don't, y'all. I do it when I think about it. And so some days that's like 5 days in a row, and then I'll skip a week and then I'll start doing it again, or I'll do every other day, or I'll do every 3 days. It just kind of depends on kind of what kind of space I'm in. And my gratitude journal, I actually have included as part of my planner. I was looking for it to see if I could grab it and show y'all. So I have a paper planner that I like to use. And in that planner, I outline like 3 priorities for the day, like 3 things that I have to get done that day. They're non-negotiables. And then everything else is kind of bonus if I get to this stuff. And so as part of my paper planner, I have a sheet that has a page that just has the number 1 through 31 on it. And so you can use it for any month. So even if the month doesn't have 31 days, you can use it for the month. So at the top, you just put the month and the year. And then on each line, I can write what I'm grateful for and why. And what I notice as I reflect on my gratitude journal and log is that I really am super grateful for people. So I find myself writing a lot about different people in my life. So family members, friends, some of my littles. If you've heard me refer to my littles are like my godchildren and my nieces and my nephews. I write a lot about those people. I also write like that I'm grateful for other people like clients because I really enjoy the work that I get to do. It is such a pleasure to be able to support people in some of the most exciting and some of the most difficult and in some of the just regular smegular times in their lives. I really, really do not take for granted that people allow me to walk alongside of them as they are kind of journeying and traversing through just their day-to-day life. It means a lot to me because what I know is that people don't have to. One, two, I'm not the best therapist for everybody. And so the clients that do work with me and believe that I am the best fit to walk alongside them, it is a treasure, I think is the best way I can describe it, to be able to support them in that way. So I'm super my family members, my friends. If that cut out, y'all, I'm so sorry. I don't know what just happened. But super grateful for the family and friends that I have in my life. And just, I was having a conversation with someone the other day about all the things that are going on in my world. And so doing therapy, pursuing my speaking, and hosting events for parents and trying to bridge that gap between parents and teens, and then also this foodie piece of me that I don't talk a whole lot about, but my byline is speaker, therapist, foodie. And so the foodie stuff, I have an idea that I'm gonna start sharing about the foodie side of me. But anyway, they were talking about, man, Raffinée, you are kind of managing all these different arms. And what is it like? It sounds like you're super busy. And I was like, I mean, I don't think I'm super busy. I think that I have just enough of each part of it. So I think I have just enough of the therapist arm. I have just enough of the speaker arm. And I'm actually open to a little more of the speaker arm and just enough of the foodie side. And I'm really grateful that I'm in a space in my life where, one, I can curate the life that I have, but also that I have such amazing support. And so my friend was like, your mom has got to be like super proud to see you just living out your dreams, being an entrepreneur, like doing all the things. And I was like, I think she is. And it's really cool to like have her support along this journey. And one of the things I'm really, really grateful about is that I although a lot of people have not understood my journey, those closest to me have always been incredibly supportive and encouraging. And when things didn't make sense, they felt comfortable to tell me that. And also to encourage me to take risks when I was like, I don't know about this. And, being able to encourage me and say, Raffinée, you can do this. Like, why not? Try it out. If you don't like it, do something different. And I just see a lot of those themes in my gratitude, just lots of gratitude for different people in my life and the roles that each of them play in my life. Now, something else I find that I try to incorporate into my gratitude journaling as well is just small things that I think I easily take for granted. So I mentioned earlier, like, oh, sometimes my gratitude is like that I have a snack. Y'all, I'm serious. That really makes the gratitude list sometimes. Something like this. This is just a blanket, right? But here's what happens, y'all. When I'm working during the day, sometimes I get cold because I got fans going and the air conditioning is going. And so I sometimes am grateful for things like this, which this is here intentionally and very strategically. Like, yes, it looks great on camera and it's a nice contrast to the beige and all the things. And it is a practical tool that I have access to, because if I do get cold, what I don't want to be doing in the middle of a session is like, can you excuse me for 1 second so I can go get a blanket? Like, I need to already be prepared for that. And so I have this blanket. I rarely actually use this one, but if I don't have my blanket that I typically use, this one is always here so that I can have access to it and I can use it. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I've got Kleenex back here. Oh, this is actually empty. Well, look at that. I think I used the last one earlier today. But I'm grateful for this because I was like, I just need to have Kleenex somewhere nearby because sometimes I need to like blow my nose or something gets in my eye. And I can't be in the middle of a session and be like, can you give me 2 minutes so I go get some Kleenex? And so I can put it back here. One, because it's out the way. You can't see it if I'm in a session, but then also I could just like reach my hand back here and I have to get up and be disruptive. And so I'm grateful for small things like that because they really do impact my day. Like ever since I started doing this, I don't have to think about, am I going to have a Kleenex nearby if I need to blow my nose or something? There's also, oh, it's not back there. It's right here. There's also typically some lotion back there because sometimes my hands get dry and I'm like, I need to put some lotion on. And that's a distraction to me. And so I know that this is here. And so I don't have to be distracted. I can just grab it, put my lotion on, and still be in my session with my client and not feel like, oh my gosh, my hands feel like sandpaper right now. And so I want to encourage y'all to do some reflecting. If this is your first time hearing about gratitude journaling or gratitude logging, start now. Keep a gratitude log, review it in a few months. It's been about 3 months since I brought this up. So it was actually March 22nd, I think was the date I saw on the video when I previously talked about gratitude. And so if you want to go back and listen to that, I'll link it here so you can get it quickly. But start now. There is such power in gratitude, and it really does help to have healthy perspective. If I can see what is going okay, something that I'm grateful for, even in the midst of maybe what may be crazy or chaotic or stressful, it has an impact on my outlook, my perspective, even my mood, and my ability to see that everything is not awful. And so that's my encouragement to you, is to consider being too busy for ingratitude, because there is so much to be grateful for. And I really, really do believe that. I don't just say that because I work in this profession, but because I've seen that be true in my life. That's all I got for y'all this week. So I hope that you'll join me again next time for another